Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to do something, but your inner critic wouldn't let you, or that little inner voice sort of doubted you and made you doubt yourself? Or perhaps you might have wanted to do something and the inner perfectionist in you made you work way harder than you had to in order to get it to be right, in order to make it perfect. Well, this is a phenomenon that plagues so many of us, me included. And I decided that because so many of my clients were bringing this issue into our work, that I should do a masterclass on it, because I have been doing a lot of critic work in some of my leadership programs, and it's been always really fun, and people love the way that we were able to debunk the psychology of the perfectionist and the inner critic and help them feel better and achieve more. And so what I wanted to tell you about the perfectionist is 3 things that I hope you can consider and maybe give you reasons why you might want to learn more about them and how to do better. The first is that, of course, on the outside, perfectionism is rewarded. In many of our jobs, perfectionism is what we like. We look at things and we say, oh, she has perfect makeup, or, you know, this is the perfectly written article. So we use and celebrate that perfectionism through our language and through admiration, through status. We reward it. So we often actually condition ourselves to think about how good it is and how it helps us win, it helps us achieve results, it helps us do well. But at the same time, perfectionism has a rather dark side. And the dark side of perfectionism is that it costs a great deal of time and an incredible amount of stress. It often makes us work way harder for things that we don't need to work this hard for. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, a brain surgery or something that is really a life and death situation. But many times in our lives, good enough would just do, but the perfectionist in us will not let us. So perfectionism has a cost, and that cost is often hidden because we don't tell our friends that we stay up late or we lack sleep, or that maybe our results are coming at very serious costs, whether it's to our lives, to our relationships, or even just pure fun and play and rest. So there is that hidden cost, but things get darker. Being a perfectionist, most of all, often harms relationships, because when we are a perfectionist, we of course apply these high standards to other people. And that means that if you've ever worked for a person who was a really hard boss, who you could never please them, who always complained about everything, you were probably at the receiving end of a perfectionist. And as we all know, that is actually often really caustic and a bit toxic, because too much of that perfectionism can really steal away the joy and the enjoyment of the things we're doing. So not everything needs to be perfect. But it gets even worse. And here's the third and really important thing about perfectionism, and this has to do with psychology. There is a very strong correlation between people who are perfectionists and depression. And this is rather serious and something that you can protect yourself from if you come to my masterclass and learn more about very practical ways in which our neurobiology can get us into perfectionism and feed the inner critic, and also all the tools that we can apply to ourselves and to others to basically break free. So if that sounds fun, and it will be fun in terms of the training, then do sign up to my masterclass on perfectionism.